Well, welcome back. So we're up here in North Carolina. We're doing our trip, like we said, looking at properties. So before we left Florida, we looked at a piece of property there, and it had potential. It was 5 acres. Uh, it was zoned agricultural. It didn't have any real roads. It was sugar sand roads to get to the property.
And it would be really hard to get the car in here. We'd have to change cars.
We'll fix the road.
Fix the road? That's huge money.
Sugar sand might as well be quicksand for those of you who don't know.
But it was neat and secluded, and we actually had three 5 acre plots we could have chose from, or multiples if we wanted to. There's 3 properties that's running this way, and this is one, then there's another, and then there's another.
Back property line, and it looks like somebody's already fenced it. So that would be the end of our property right there. And those lines that run that way would also run this way. So our property would go up through there, and it would be 5 acres that way. And then it would end where that other fence is past John's Head over there.
But there's a lot of issues with the property. There was gopher turtles on the property. There was wetlands on the property. There was no water on the property. There's no utilities to the property. I mean, there was a lot of negatives.
Well, the biggest one for me is all those others were surmountable, but I'm not ready to pay $6,000 for each turtle that we find on the property. So that was out. So then we moved on to Biloxi, and in the morning after a stay in Biloxi, we went to Mississippi.
So we just left the hotel first night. We are headed to look at the first piece of property we have on our list. So we stayed last night at the Harrah's in Biloxi, which was good. Won a little bit of money. That's always good. Next, we're headed about 45 minutes west is the first piece of property we're going to look at. It's 6 miles from the beach, which is kind of nice because we'll be up here and be able to grow and be close to the beach that we're used to. So it's really nice for us because we really like the beach and we like the warm weather.
It was beautiful
hot. And it was an up and growing community. It was 20 acres. It's flat. It had caught on fire before.
So it looks like the property's been burnt. And it did say severe water and fire on the listing.
So a lot of the timber and underbrush is already cleared away.
There's a house on the property. It's all burnt down. Or not burnt down, but broke down.
The house would have to go.
And a little shed.
It's got a shed that we can probably turn into a chicken coop.
This old building.
And a funny pool.
It's got a
Duck
outdoor
pond.
pool that might be a duck pond.
We have a pool.
It won't be.
But it's a nice piece of property. It does have a power line going through it. Right there is our mobile home. That would be existing. Needs to be rehabbed. And then here we have a roadway that goes to this power line. And then there's a power line that splits the property in half. There were a lot of horse flies that we're going to have to deal with there.
We'll figure out a way to manage those horse flies. That's not the problem.
What are you thinking, other than the horse flies?
Horse flies pissing me off. But other than that, we really like the property. We love the location.
Right down the street. What do you think, baby?
Had a fresh market close by, had a school across the street, had a we call it rescue, close by. I mean, everything that we
6
look
miles
for
from
was
the
right there.
beach. you
And
know,
and there's
a
a
national
big
forest
park,
right there.
right?
Yeah.
And beachfront.
So it's a nice. I mean, it fits a lot of what we wanted. You know, it doesn't have standing or surface water, but it's got already a well septic and electric from the
If we
mobile
were gonna
home.
use
So,
Yeah.
we plan on being off grid, but it's still nice to
Until
be
we
able
get
to have
there.
it.
Yeah. It'd be good to have. Right.
So that was a really nice property there, and then that's probably one of our top contenders at this point. But we also looked at two other properties that didn't cut the mustard. It was one was just full. It was 28. Both of them were 20 acres, plus or minus. But one of them was full of water, so we didn't want to do that.
We didn't even bother with that
And
one.
the other one was really sloped and had a house on both ends and all kinds
So it was
of
basically
weird
broken into
topography
3
and-
different sections. It was just broken up too much to be a good farm scenario, and it was way too steep.
Yeah, so we threw those two out, and then the other property was off in Valhalla
Oh.
Street. I may not pronounce that right. But
Trying to remember.
it's
about
it was a
Valhalla.
neat piece of property. That one was 20 acres, and a lot of it was cleared and timbered, but not. It wasn't clear cut, so they left some standing trees and brush and had some character still. And she really liked that property. The only thing I didn't like about the property was the location.
Oh yeah, this was one of my favorite. It had blackberries.
It did. It had blackberries on there already, but it didn't have any water, and you didn't have. It had garbage access, you know,
Garbage pickup.
municipal garbage.
And it had things close by, but there was really no timber on the property for us to be able to use to build a cabin or anything else that we needed. We'd have to buy all those resources. So that really didn't, it just didn't pan out to rank as high as the others that we found on our search.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice property. If that was the best one, then we would have been okay with it. But,
Yeah, that would probably be my third.
yeah. Well, about probably my fourth, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, that was that day. So then we went back to
Biloxi.
Biloxi and stayed there another night, and then got up, and then we were supposed to just hang around Biloxi, take the day off from trip and whatever, but
We were
ended
too
up
excited.
we ended up looking at more property.
Yeah. We went
we
look at several
picked out
more.
3 more properties there.
And none of them, one was too wet. One had arguing neighbors and dogs, biting dogs, and it just was not something we wanted to do. And then the third one was way off the road,
Yeah,
way off the road in the
Yeah.
woods. That's the one where you found the.
yeah. So this one we hiked up in there, and then we found on the hill bordering the property there was a big rock shaker and sluice and like stuff all grown over, like they had some sort of mine in there, and just decided they made enough money and left it all, I guess.
It
But
was monstrous.
yeah, it was all, but everything was grown around it.
So a slough and a shaker are where you take the dirt and sift it and run it through water to get to the gold or whatever you're after.
But these were huge, the size of.
They
you
look,
know, it was-
yeah,
you put
manufacturing
boulders in
size.
there, but it was pretty neat. It was neat to find anyway.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun that day.
Yeah.
And then day 3,
We went to Alabama.
we decided we went to some properties in Alabama on our way back here to North Carolina.
So one of those was the Moorville.
Moorville property. Yeah, that property was a nice 20-acre property, and that's probably my third choice. It's got a trail that runs all the way around the property, and it slopes down like this, and there is a creek back here, and this is lower levels where this can be, a pond can be dug or whatever. A lot of potential there.
It made a great walking path, and you could have, you know, destinations or animals in different places. It would have worked out really, really well.
And it was complete forest, so I mean, it had old growth, new growth, a lot of resources that we could utilize there.
So this is a flat enough area to make a garden. And there's a creek down at the bottom that we could use to feed uphill, pump uphill, and then water the garden. It's really pretty.
And then, of course, we left that property and went to
The 40
the
acres.
40 acres, and that's one of our top 2 contenders. first of all, it's 40 acres, which is really nice. But it again had different paths through it, and they set up. I guess they were using it for leasing hunting because they had, you know, hunting stands all
Lines
throughout,
all throughout.
And feeders and all of that.
Cleared areas, which were beautiful.
They had big old growth trees.
Yeah, I think we could park the bus down here. Check out this old growth forest. It's huge. And they're everywhere.
They have water going through there. There's ravines. There's flat areas. There's non-flat areas. The lowest part is what we're walking into.
Okay.
And this looks like it gets higher as it goes. And these are,
Ravines.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're 20 feet increments of level. If there's just anything you could want on a property, it's there.
It's a little bit further away from everything that I like. That's the only negative I have about it. Everything is 20 minutes to an hour away. But you know, 20 minutes is okay.
You know, and
So we could, if we needed to, we could do our farmer's market there or go to an evening out there or, you know, entertain people there.
or we can just disappear on the 40 acres and not say
Never
nothing
be
to
seen
anybody.
again.
And it's nice, so you know you can put kids on one side and we stay on this side. It's quiet.
So let's see. That's all of them.
So we went ahead and put offers on
A
the
couple of
our
them.
two favorites. You know, that's the beach property, and then
You weren't going to tell them which one it was. Or were you?
I
You're gonna
guess
come back
I
next
guess
week?
I am. I'm just going with it.
Go for it.
So it's we put offers in on the beach property and the 40-acre property in Alabama, which we're torn. We can't really decide which one we like better. I mean, they both have got some neat aspects, and if we could just take them both and put them together, we would have the perfect property. But
Isn't that always the way?
yeah, so I guess we're gonna leave it to fate to see which one we get. You know, because we try to beat them up on the price, and the one that bites gets our deal, I guess.
It's all the money.
Yeah. So that's what we're waiting. We're waiting to hear back. So wish us luck.
You'll have to come back next video to find out which one we actually land on. So cross your fingers. We'll see you next video.
Thou shalt not pass. Looky here, we got a new toy to play with. We got a long stick that does this, and I got a remote for the camera. We're getting professional. After a couple more videos, we might have a whole crew.
Yeah, boy. We're going to hire us a crew.
Yeah. We still ain't found no property. We ain't done with the bus yet. So,
Plans.
plans, yeah. You know how to walk, baby?
Not very often. I sit my ass behind a desk most of the time.
I need to get one of them boards, the black and white boards that go take 5, cut, and a director's chair. I need a director's chair.
I'll be the director. You're not the
Oh,
director.
damn it. Story of my life.